everyone. Welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Alice.
I'm Betty.
And today in our close, we have orange, you glad you don't eat too many carrots. So that's kind of funny because carrots are orange, right?
Right.
So learn about carotenemia, I believe it's called, and whether it is dangerous or not. So we're going to learn what it is and if it's dangerous or not. Wow, that's a lot of info in one day.
Right. And it's a little bit difficult. What even is that? Like carotenemia? Have you heard of this one before?
I have not. I can guess what it is, but I have not heard it.
Right. 所以这个呢，我们今天要讲的主题是克漏字啦。那我们今天要讲的是跟胡萝卜有关系的。同学有想过吃太多胡萝卜，自己有可能变成跟胡萝卜一样颜色吗？那我们来了解一下什么叫 carotenemia， 这个胡萝卜素血症跟如果我得了这个症状 whether it's dangerous or not， 是否会有一些危险呢
So let's pause and then get right into it. All right, so our first sentence starts with, most of the time, eating plenty of carrots and sweet potatoes is a good thing. And I'm glad because I like carrots and sweet potatoes.
Really?
So, yeah, I love especially sweet potatoes. But even carrots I think are pretty good. Do you not like them?
I hate all types of vegetables and fruit.
Oh,
right?
no! Oh, no! Never mind then.
对，所以呢，我们来看一下大部分的时候同学应该都知道，吃很多的那个蔬菜水果，像这边是讲说吃胡萝卜啦，跟 sweet potato 是马铃薯啊，甜的马铃薯就是番薯啦 is a good thing， 所以通常是不错。那你要小心一下Eating sweet potatoes， 你同学会觉得这里要放 are， 怎么会放 is 呢？你要小心它是 eating， 它是一个动作吃这两个食物，所以它是单数is a good thing.
Unfortunately, if you do eat too much of the food blank above, you could get carotenemia, a condition where your skin turns orange. Oh my. So now we know what carotenemia is. Let's go to that blank that we have to fill out, right? So we have 4 options. We have A, mention, B, mentions, C, mentioned, and D, mentioning. So all different forms of mention. The correct answer is C, mentioned, the past tense version. So eat too much of the food mentioned above.
对，这个同学会不会在觉得填这格的时候呢会有一点点难因为我们来看到它其实是要填 mention， 大概有4个形态，那你到底要放哪一个？那我们来看一下这句话呢，同学最好的判断方式是它已经有没有主词动词了。那如果没有的话，有没有连接词？连接词才能连接另外一个主词跟动词。如果没有的话，同学就只能选择用分词，就是用 ing 或者是 VPP 的形态。像这里 if you do eat too much of the food mentioned above， 我们看到那个 if 它是一个连接词，对不对？那 if you do eat 它是跟谁连接呢？后面那一句 you could get carotenemia， 所以它是跟后面这一句连接。那像这个mention 在这边前面已经有一个 do eat 动词了，那我这边要填什么呢？那我们就来看一下这个 too much of the food， 食物。这个食物它会自己提自己吗？不会啦它是被提到的，所以第一个我们只能选分词，只有 C 跟 D， 那因为它是被提到的，所以 C mentioned 就会比D 来得好那这个 a condition where， 这个 where 到 orange 帮我圈起来。如果你看到克漏字里面常会有逗点的地方，同学要记得这都是好的，因为它在给你一些解释。什么叫 carotenemia？ 它是一个 condition， 它是一个症状。什么症状呢？ Where your skin turns orange， 你的皮肤会变橘它在给你一点解释。
No one wants to look like a mango, so let's see how this happens and blank we can do to avoid this. So it is true no one wants to look like a mango.
Right?
Not very flattering. They taste good, but are not flattering. So let's look at the choices we have for the second blank. We have A, how, B, what, C, why, and D, when. So these are 4 of the who, what, when, where, why things. And the correct answer for number 2 is B, what. So it says, let's see how this happens and what we can do to avoid this.
这个呢，同学，我觉得台湾同学这种题目最常搞混其实是 A, how 跟 B, what. 那老师教你一个很方便的一个辨识方式，你可以看后面的那一句话 We can do to avoid this， 你先帮我看这句话完不完整。像这句话它很明显 do 它后面就少了一个受词，你要 do 什么啊 do what， 所以这里就放 what。 如果你要选 how 如何的话，那你要记得你后面那一句话要是完整的。我举个例子比如说这里你要换 how， 那就是 how we can avoid this， 因为 we can avoid this， avoid 已经后面有一个受词了，这样子完整的结构前面才可以放 how。 所以如果你不想看起来像芒果的话，我们来学学看该怎么避免吧。
So let's pause and get right into more about carrots. All right, back to our carrot topic of the day. So carrots are rich in beta-carotene, which is a pigment that gives carrots their orange color, right? So if you ever wondered what that pigment is called, it is called beta-carotene. And carrots do happen to have a lot of it. So what a coincidence.
Right. 那我们来看一下这个 beta-carotene 是什么东西。那同学有看到这里有一个逗点，对不对？逗点都是在解释，所以同学不要讨厌逗点，要喜欢它。因为这样子，因为你没有背过 beta-carotene 这个字，那逗点就是在解释说，那到底是什么东西呀？它是 a pigment， pigment 是一个色素，什么色素？后面继续解释 that gives carrots their orange color， 它其实就是为什么胡萝卜这么橘的这个原因啦。
In a human's small intestine, this pigment is turned into vitamin A. So I actually didn't know this, but yeah, so basically that's why they say that carrots are good for you, right? Because you get vitamin A from eating them. So vitamin A, we need all the vitamins, A, B, C, D, and whatever. But if you want A specifically, you can get it from carrots. And it explains it's because the beta-carotene is turned into vitamin A.
对，如果同学要维持身体的健康啊，可以多吃一点我们的胡萝卜，因为胡萝卜其实有很多的 vitamin A。那我们来了解一下，怎么胡萝卜进去吃下去会变成 vitamin A 呢？In a human's small intestines, intestine 是我们的肠，那 small intestine 当然就是小肠啦。This pigment 这个色素呢 is turned into 被动被转化成 vitamin A， 所以这就是你怎么吃胡萝卜可以补充维生素 A 的原因了。
If a lot of carrots are consumed, some of the pigment goes into the bloodstream. So consumed is another way of saying eat, right? Like you can consume calories, consume food. You can eat food or eat calories. Basically the same thing. So if a lot of carrots are consumed, that means you're eating a lot of carrots. And some of that pigment is going to go into your bloodstream, not just your small intestine.
哇，所以我们来看一下这个怎么会从吃很多胡萝卜变成胡萝卜素血症呢？其实就是因为 a lot of carrots are consumed. Consume 这边老师有讲到，它就等于 eat， 吃它只是比较高级一点比较难一点点的说法。那 consume 再提醒一下，它有消费的意思。那我们这边是讲吃的意思同学不要翻译错。如果呢你吃太多的话 ，some of the pigment 有些这些色素呢 goes into the bloodstream， 它就跑到你的血液里面去咯。
This can blank carotenemia, which turns the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet, or knees orange. So the palms of your hands, we should know this, right? It's the part that you have two sides of your hands, right? The back of your hands and the palms. And the soles of your feet are the bottom of your feet. You walk on the soles of your feet. Now, the blank, what we have here is A, result in, B, agree with, C, insist on, or D, fill out. And the correct answer for the third blank is A, result in. So the sentence is, this can result in carotenemia.
OK， 我们老师刚才公布的答案答案是 A， 同学有写对吗？我们来看一下这个句子的 this 指的是什么？要小心那个克漏字，它其实随时都在藏线索给你，只是你有没有发现？这个 this 指的就是前面的那一句，我们前面说到那些色素呢会跑到你的血液里面去啊，这个 this 就是讲这一件事情，这件事情会怎么样呢？可以 result in carotenemia， 它可能会导致这个胡萝卜素血症哦。那这里有个逗点对不对？又在解释什么是胡萝卜素血症，听都没听过，不要紧张。Which turns the palms of the hands， palms 你的手掌啦， the soles of the feet 你的脚底板脚掌的地方， or knees orange. 所以这个胡萝卜速写症呢，就是会帮你的手掌、脚掌还有膝盖变成橘色的元凶啦。那我们来看 A result in， 它是导致，同学要连介系词一起记哦。如果是 result from，就是完全相反的意思啦，是因为的意思，所以这个一定要记好 result in。 B agree with 是同意谁，再来 insist on 很坚持啦，再来 D 的地方 fill out 或我们讲 fill in， 通常呢会讲说填表单 fill in or fill out a form.
So after knowing these, let's take a break and then we can move on to the final paragraph. Okay, so the last part, luckily, carotenemia is blank. So for our fourth blank, we have A, partly responsible, B, highly effective, C, hardly surprising, and D, basically harmless. So these are four very different answers. Some of the answers are kind of hard because the meaning is all quite similar. But this one, there are four different meanings, so as long as we know these words, responsible, surprising, effective, harmless, should not be too hard, hopefully.
Right.
The correct answer is D, basically harmless.
好，我们来看一下齁。那因为这里的形容词啊 responsible, effective, surprising 跟 harmless 他们意思其实都差得蛮远的，所以如果同学有正确解读出来的话，应该是不会太难选。那这里要小心的就是前面的那一些副词，我们来看一下 A 齁 partly responsible 它就是只有负一部分的责任，齁不是 completely responsible 只有一部分的责任。再来 highly effective 是非常有效的，我们可以说某一个方法 very highly effective， very 跟 highly 好是一样的。Highly effective, very effective 很有效，还记得它是放 highly 哦，好，然后再来 C hardly surprising， 我觉得这个稍微难一点点，因为 hardly 它其实是否定的意思，它不是很硬，也不是很难，它是几乎不，所以同学要记得 hardly surprising 要翻译成一点也不令人讶异哦，不要犯错。猪的话呢 basically harmless， basic 我们都知道基本，那所以 basically harmless 就是基本上，那你也可以说是大体而言，一般来说是无害的。所以因为他这边有讲 luckily 很幸运，所以得到这个病的话，很幸运的是大体上呢，它是不会对你的身体造成危害。
It's usually found in babies who eat too much carrot or sweet potato as baby food. And you know how baby food comes in different flavors. And if I remember right, I used to babysit. I do remember that babies seem to like the carrot and sweet potato flavors better than like green peas or whatever broccoli flavors. Yeah, and maybe because the carrot and sweet potato is sweeter, so maybe they like it more.But you can't have too much, otherwise you get carotenemia.
Right, 所以同学在那个喂小朋友是要非常小心啦，因为这个症状呢 usually found in babies 会通常是发生在小 baby 上面，所以大人不用太担心不会吃太多就变成胡萝卜这样。那什么样的 baby 会容易得到呢？ Who eat too much carrots or sweet potatoes as baby food. 所以婴儿食品在挑选上那个分量也要稍微注意一点。
Even though it is sometimes mistaken for a serious blank, carotenemia doesn't affect the health of babies. So that's good to hear. Let's talk about what the fifth blank could be. We have A, wound, B, practice, C, illness, and D, attitude. So for 5, there's 4 different choices. This one I think is a little challenging, but the correct answer is C, illness. So the sentence is, even though it is sometimes mistaken for a serious illness, carotenemia does not affect the health of babies. So that's good, right? At least even though they turn orange, at least they're not harmed.
They're turned back into their original color, not like orange for life.
Oh yeah, that would be quite unfortunate. Yeah.
Right. 所以呢，我们来看一下这一句在讲什么Even though 呢，它是在做一个逆接的动作。所谓逆接就是说，前面这一句如果讲正面的，后面就会讲反面的。那前面这里讲反面，后面就会讲正面啦。Even though 虽然即 即使 although it is sometimes mistaken for a serious illness 这边要填 illness 那有没有同学想说我填 wound 好不好呢受伤不行哦那个 wound 通常是那个皮肉伤那 illness 才是指疾病的意思所以记得要选 C 不能选 A 哦那 B practice 就是练习D attitude 就是你的态度那我们来继续看一下后面这里讲什么 is sometimes mistaken for a serious illness Carotenonemia doesn't affect the health of babies 所以基本上小朋友的健康是不会受到影响的
As soon as a change in diet is made the skin discoloration will fade and the babies will be back to looking normal. Hooray!
Right.
So if the skin discoloration will fade, if something fades, that means it slowly goes away, right? So let's say anytime you get hurt, right? Let's say you get a bruise or something, right? It starts to fade after a while. It looks maybe really bad at first, but after a while it will fade.So fade away, you can also say the music's fading away. It's getting quieter and quieter.
Right, 我们来看一下 fade 这个字fade 这个字就是我们讲的淡出像同学用那个 PPT 应该都会有这个功能就是淡出让做一点特效那个 fade 就是淡出的意思比如说你有的时候你身上撞到淤青了 bruise B-R-U-I-S-E 有 bruise 的时候呢过了一段时间它就会 fade 它就会消掉了我们来看一下这句话As soon as 一怎么样就怎么样 A change in diet is made 只要说 diet 是你的吃东西的这个饮食习惯你只要改变一下你的饮食 The skin discoloration Coloration Color 是颜色 Coloration 是上色Discoloration 就是上错颜色了也就是说 Skin discoloration 是变色的意思这个现象呢 will fade 会不见And the babies will be back to looking normal 它就会看起来 normal 正常回到它原本的样子了所以大家不用太担心
Yeah, even though it's kind of funny to think of an orange baby
right?
But we don't want them to stay that way forever, right? Maybe just for Halloween
Oh, right, that is true
Yeah,
like
it could be a
pumpkin
Yeah, or a carrot baby, right? You don't even need makeup You could just feed them a bunch of carrots
Right, that's a lot easier for parents
Yeah, but let's take a break and be more serious when we talk about vocab. All right, back to our vocabulary. So, our first phrase that we have is be rich in something. So, if something is rich in something, that means there's a lot of it. Like rich means you have a lot of money, right? Kind of by itself, like I'm very rich, hooray. But you can also be rich in other things besides money, right? And so, in our article, we saw carrots are rich in beta-carotene. That means carrots have a lot of beta-carotene, not that carrots have a lot of money.
对 right 所以这个老师开了一个玩笑所以那个 rich 不是有钱在这里不能当有钱的去解释它的意思有点像有钱我们有一个想法是富有的对不对富有的那在这边呢它是富含的意思所以不是说这里的胡萝卜很有钱它这里讲的是胡萝卜呢它有一些很丰富的维他命 A be rich in 富含你也可以把它想成 be full of something 那你要记得后面是接 in 不能接其他的介系词哦
Next, we have consume. So in the article, they said carrots are consumed, which means you eat carrots. But you can consume other things besides food. You can consume products, so it means you're using products. So you can consume, and that's why people who buy things are called consumers, because consumers consume. What a great sentence.
对，同学可以这样记记看consumers consume. Consumers 的意思就是顾客顾客买东西这个 consume 就是购物消费的意思它有一个另外一个意思也是本文出现的意思两个同学都要记因为它确实是在课漏字蛮常出现的字这里就是吃的意思 consumer 是消费者的意思
Next we have be mistaken for. So in the article they said, right, that carotenemia is sometimes mistaken for a serious illness, right? But you can also mistake people for like maybe, I saw this person and I, mistook them for my friend. But actually they were a stranger, right? So you thought something was the case, but actually, oops, that was a mistake. I thought wrong. So be mistaken for something or someone else.
对，这个 be mistaken for 其实它的字义也蛮好想象，我们都知道 mistake 的名词是错误嘛，对不对？那所以当动词的时候就是误解误认了。那同时要注意的是它的三态，它原本的原型是 mistake，那如果它的过去式要怎么办呢？同学有发现 mistake 后面有一个 take 吗？这个 take 这个字，那所以说它的过去式的变形就会跟 take 是一样的，所以 mistake 就会变成 mistook M-I-S-T-O-O-K， 那它的分词就会变成 mistaken M-I-S-T-A-K-E-N。 那这里是 be mistaken for， 把 A 误认成为B 了，那你可以用在像我们这边就是把疾病把它想象成很严重，你也可以说拍谁我认错人了，也是 be mistaken for 这个用法哦。
And finally, we have fade. So again, the sound fades away. It's getting quieter and quieter. Or, right, your bruise will slowly fade away and you won't see it anymore after a while. So it's fade.
好 fade 这个字呢就是淡出消逝的意思，你可以说声音慢慢的不见了 fade， 也可以说受伤那个伤口呢慢慢的疤越来越浅，那后面常常会加一个 out fade out 一起使用，淡出或者是消逝的意思。
So that's all the time we have today. We will see you all next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.